Anyway, would you like to talk for a minute, Brian, about what doesn't work or who doesn't work? Apparently, Penta doesn't work. He's shooting, isn't he? What in the teetotal? I'm trying not to cuss within your time parameter for the YouTube clip. Son of a gun. You pickle, you kumquat. Shut the front door. What the French toast? If I've killed enough time yet or not.
Did you say French toast?
Hey, quit now. What the fuck was this guy doing? What the fuck? Get back on Penta, because what we do is we call it where we see it, and we call it how we see it, and we call it where we find it, or we piss on it whenever we feel like it. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But we got to be fair, because we're going to poop all over the parade of the AEW folks when we talk about how they almost assassinated the roster on their show. We must give equal time, even though Penta kind of qualifies as both, because he's an AEW veteran that is now in the company that is supposed to tell him how to slow down and not kill anybody. And we didn't watch. I didn't watch Raw because last weekend, SmackDown was 3 hours. Saturday night's main event was 2 hours. Raw was 3 hours. The pay-per-view from AEW was 4.5 days. Even if we'd watched it, why would we talk about all of it? My God, is there no fucking mercy in the world? But so I didn't see this clip for a couple days. But have you now seen this act that Penta perpetrated on Raw the other night?
I watched Raw this week, so I saw it when it happened, and I saw it in real time, and it looked bad in real time. And again, when you see the referee as fast as he can get to the ground and get in the guy's face, you know that the referee saw it the same way you did. And it seemed like the commentators thought it was bad too. It seemed like everyone thought it was bad until he just kept working.
Well, and he tweeted a picture of himself out. Chad Gable is who we're talking about. Tweeted a picture of himself out the next day when it is like the front right of his forehead was bruised and matte scraped and purple. And lucky him, because he could have done the whole, Kurt Angle thing. Otherwise, I broke a freaking neck. But we'll get to... there was debate on the interwebs of which was worse or more dangerous. And I'm trying to think myself between what we're going to talk about with what Adam Cole got put through on AEW and this thing. But let's explain this thing first, because I don't know, in a lot of ways, it's a tie.
And I brought this up to you. I mean, this comes on the heels of Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné, and it looked like Jamie Hayter almost got spiked, and you said something, and I go, yeah, that's not even the first time or the only time this week, because I had already seen the Gable spot.
Yeah, when Mercedes small packaged Jamie Hayter on top of her fucking head. But here is I don't know. I can explain what other people that hurt themselves this week were trying to do, and it just didn't quite work, right? I don't know what this was supposed to be. Because what had apparently happened, they're having some multiple man match. And you remember Dragon Lee, he's the little fellow with the mask.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to Penta, who's a medium-sized fellow with the mask.
Well, Penta wears a full-body suit. He kind of looks like the son of La Parka.
Yes. Well, he needs to park it for a minute. I think he needs some bench time to think about his career options. But the point being, they've gone into this three-way move they're going to do where Dragon Lee is on Penta's back like he's a backpack. They're back to back, but Dragon Lee's feet are around and his toes are sitting on top of Penta's thighs, and he's held by Penta's arms with it like in a whatever kind of position is that, Brian? I'm trying to explain it verbally, but he's on the guy's back. Well, meanwhile, they think it's a good idea that Chad Gable's going to come at the guy, at Penta, And Penta's going to tug Chad Gable's head between his legs and give Chad Gable a pile driver while Dragon Lee is on his back. But what happened, obviously, was that he got him up in the pile driver, and then they all just fucking crumpled with dropping Chad Gable sideways, not even straight down. Sideways is worse, ladies and gentlemen. Sideways is always worse when dealing with necks and knees. He dropped Gable sideways on his head and face, and then sat on him with the guy that was on his back kind of crumpling on his back and then rolling off. If they had executed the pile driver, what would it have still done to the guy on his back? He would have just landed on his knees, straight with his head straight up in the air. What was he supposed to do? Fucking sell it? Oh, my knees. What? Do you see what I'm saying to you?
I see. It looks like one thing, but when you actually try to figure out what the concept is, it may not make sense.
Yes, if Penta had given Gable a pile driver perfectly, the guy on his back would have still just landed on his knees, straight up in the fucking air. So what was he going to do? And this dipshit should have known that with the guy on his back hindering, not only he's got the guy's weight on his thighs, but also his arms are somewhat hindered, that he should be picking a guy for a pile driver when both these guys are about the same size as he is. The fuck? But that was, I mean, he could have just broke his neck right there and, that could have been it. But for what? I don't even know what they were trying to do that they could visualize that it was safe and at the same time look like a logical, sensible maneuver to do to people. Down goes Gable.
Someone's going to get hurt. It's coming sooner. I mean, these guys are doing more and more of this kind of stuff where someone's head is going like so close to the mat. It just takes it takes the wrong judgment. Even good workers like Owen Hart did it to Steve Austin. It could happen to the best, but some of these guys, it seems like some of this stuff is, that seemed like too much for no good reason in this match. And if he had gotten hurt there, it really would have been too much.
Well, and the thing is, as you said, it can happen accidentally. When, occasionally the rope used to break or the turnbuckle used to snap off and throw somebody off or whatever. Of course, they do wonderful ring maintenance these days for the most part, but there's always something that can happen and something that can go wrong or go sideways. But when you're trying to set something like that up, it's so contrived looking. They're going more for, oh, wouldn't this be cool if we could do this, rather than would it make any sense for us to do this? And then they're obviously cooperating and at the same time doing something that either hurts them or just fucks up. And you're like, why? And
because the matches now are all about getting ooze from the crowd. And even WWE has the thing that AEW has, which is there's things happening in matches that may not always make sense. Maybe the outcome and the booking does, but the matches are a lot of these guys just doing their things. And again, what if he had gotten hurt here? He's in the main event of that When Worlds Collide. It's not even pay-per-view, YouTube special coming.
Well, but you know what? This wasn't even, to me, this wasn't even like, oh shit, he could have blown his knee, might have missed the YouTube special. This was, oh shit, he could have broke his fucking neck. And I mean, again, there's degrees of breaking the neck. I think I mentioned my cousin Larry fell down the stairs trying to get to the garage, and I broke a vertebrae in his neck, so or his back rather. So he technically broke his back. You can break a vertebrae in your neck and still your head doesn't fall off, but you've got a broken neck and that's not good. Or you can go straight to, oh gosh, I can't move any of my extremities level when you're just from that shit because Gable wasn't prepared for it and he wasn't given the opportunity to prepare for it because he didn't know that shit was going to happen that way. That's the majority of injuries, at least in the old days. I don't know about now or if somebody's tracking this, but the majority of injuries that happened in the old days came from shit that you couldn't control and you didn't know was coming, rather than the fuck up of a particular move that somebody just fucked up. It shouldn't have been going on to begin with. Did I make that point halfway clearly, Brian?
Halfway, yeah.
Halfway, almost all the way. But yeah, instead of trying contrived shit that went wrong, that in hindsight, you should have known better to begin with, most injuries came from shit that just accidentally went awry, stuff that you would do over and over in repetition, but there was the spot was slick, or the fucking guy was slick, or the fucking mark through beer in my eyes and I couldn't fucking see the foot coming, whatever the fuck. It wasn't, well, we kind of figured we were going to get hurt. You know what I think they need, Brian? Over there, I think, you know what I think Penta needs? He needs a new way to make money. He needs a new opportunity to make money, get into business, possibly build himself an empire without having the opportunity to drop people on their head.
Masks. He should sell masks.
Yes, because if I drop people on their heads like that, I would want to cover my face in public too.
Maybe that's why he wears the mask.
Maybe that's why he wears the mask. So as he's walking down the street, people can't say, well, there's that son of a bitch that almost broke that guy's neck. I'll tell you what, folks, our friends at Shopify, they're not going to break your neck. We're going to twist your arm a little bit. Is what we're going to do. We're going to twist your arm to go and see our friends at Shopify. Of course, virtually. You don't need to travel somewhere. Although, if you do show up at Shopify's front door, they do have punch and pie available in normal business hours for the fans that want to come and see them. But at Shopify, they're going to hold you by the hand. They want to hold your hand and they want to lead you through all phases of your business, your small business. They want to make it a medium business, then a big business, and then maybe even a goddamn empire. You'll be bogged down in so many lawsuits and corporate attempted takeovers and stock mergers that you won't know whether to shit or go blind. That's what Shopify is going to do for you, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to be filthy rich and stuck in court. But when you're old.
That's not what they're going to do for you, and that's
when you're old. See, you young people out there that want to build your business, you're not important enough to get sued yet.
This is I don't know what you're selling here exactly, but
it's Shopify. They're going to take and build you a business empire, and they're going to start you small, and they're going to make you big.
They're going to partner with you and help you on your business empire. That's the Shopify way.
That's what they're going to, if you can't design a website, well, they're going to take care of that for you. If you need a hand, they're going to reach right in there or reach around or whatever they got to do. And they're going to give you that hand job right there.
I was about to say there'll be no reach around, and you go right to that. There'll be no handies, but Shopify is a handy friend to have when you're trying to build your business, sell your products, get online, distribute your products all over the place. Once again, online.
Spray them everywhere. They're going to give you help with that hand, with everyday tasks, things that you do every day, enhancing product images, writing product descriptions, generating discount codes. What if the people haven't heard about your brand? Shopify is going to make you famous, son. They're going to do easy to run email campaigns, social media campaigns. They're going to help you find your customers. They're going to show you the way. They're going to lead you down the yellow brick road of commerce into the Scrooge McDuck money bin of prosperity. And if you get stuck, ladies and gentlemen, Shopify is always around to share advice, their award-winning 24/7 customer support. If you call up in the middle of the night and you say, I don't know what to do, they're going to tell you, go to fucking bed. So right now,
it's not how it works. But right now,
well,
let's talk about right now what people can do.
Right now, right now is the middle of the day. You shouldn't be sleeping. That's why you're not making any money. The first thing they're going to tell you is get the fuck up and go to work.
If you're prepared right now to make money, how can they get in touch with Shopify?
Well, they can turn their dreams into reality and take your best shot at success, folks, with Shopify by signing up for your $1 a month trial period. Shopify.com/JCE. You can get this thing set up and start selling regardless of what you have to sell. Of course, there are some legalities that we won't go into at this point in time. But chances are, if you want to sell it, they'll figure out a way to get it out to the people. Shopify.com/JCE, $1 a month trial period. Let them show you the incredible services they provide. You'll be addicted to the sound of money rolling in. Shopify.com/JCE. Your hands are going to stink like old dirty metal from counting all those coins that are going to come into your coffers.
Once again, Shopify, they power our online store, ArcadianVanguard.com, the new lazy booking shirts, the drive-thru shirts, so much more. They're on the Shop app. Thanks to our friends at Shopify. We use them. You should too. One more time, Jim.
I don't think you should say that. We don't use them. It's a mutually beneficial relationship.
Yeah, right. We work with them. Jim, one more time, that handy promo code.
Can't just use them like a bunch of street. Well, nevertheless, Shopify.com/JCE.
Yeah.